Hey guys, this is Panji and welcome back to Outriders. Now, off stream, I was able to reach a challenge tier 15. And initially I used the anomaly build, the bottom tree for the Devastator. I serendipitously found the right equipments for the top tree, the Vanquisher build, which is the weapon build. In this case, I used the AR build. So what happened was, I focused on just one expedition, the Archways of Enoch, to reach that challenge tier 15 gold. I didn't focus on anything else except that one map, and if I can make that one map work, I can make the others possibly work. That was my philosophy, at least. So I'm gonna show you guys, this is the ideal expedition for me, the Archways of Enoch. So as you can see, my best time for this one is at gold tier 15. Good morning, Jolo man. Good morning. Having an early stream here. Glad that you can come by. So this is it. All right. So as you can see here, the only gold tier 15 that I have is the Archways of Enoch, and I was able to clear it at 12 minutes and 6 seconds of excess. And I did that not with the anomaly build, because I couldn't do it with the anomaly build. It was too toxic for me. And I really wanted to do an AR build in this game, not a power build, a weapon build. So when I was able to get all the necessary equipment serendipitously for this build, I pushed through with it and I got the archways. So I'm just gonna try to do the most out of these. The rest of them, I'm just gonna make the most out of them and see if I can make gold as well. At least on 14 or 15. We'll see. So the question is, what build did I use? So here we go. So let's start with the inventory. Serendipitously again, I got this AR, the Voodoo Matchmaker. This is the one with the ultimate damage link. What it does is, it picks up to other 4 enemies, and then the weapon damage is shared, at least 40% of it. I paired that with Fortress, which increases any damage up to 43%. So it stacks up. There's another option for me to put here, and it's from the Amber Vault. I could break this down to get Killing Spree, but I thought to myself I could just add Fortress for both weapons and have this weapon become an AoE, while this one becomes a single target focus. Because the advantage of this is the fast reload. This one has a really slow reload, so I can't use it for a group. I'm gonna get constantly interrupted before I can finish the reload, which is bad. For the handgun, I'm just using standard pistols. I also added Fortress there along with a string of gauze. This is supposed to be an AoE emergency weapon, and it's not meant to be used for a boss. It's just for emergency. I barely use it anyway. Now, for the gear, the inventory, I was lucky enough again to get this Sergio'S Beret. So we'll start first with the bonuses. So for all the armors, okay, we'll go to the bonuses first. Pistol only playthroughs? No, this game, I have to go with another class to make this build because this is not for the Devastator. It has no bonuses. Maybe for Techno, we'll see. So for the bonuses, first we have bonus firepower, cooldown reduction, status power. So we have at least 3 bonus fire powers, a few of the status power additions, some close range damage, but all of these would have cooldown reduction. I think that's one of the most important parts. Even though this is not an anomaly build, if you can see that the skill used here would be the Golem, we need to bring down Golem cooldown to a minimum because we will have an vulnerability moment, which I'm going to explain later. So anyway, so for Sergio'S Beret, both Sharp Eye and Bloodlust will have an increase in firepower that stacks up to 3 times when I kill an opponent. So I just need to kill an opponent. It even counts if I use the ultimate damage link. All the collateral damage surrounding my target will die and will count as a killing shot or killing point, which will add to my firepower. So yeah, Sharp Eye and Bloodlust are the ones that will help me rack up the damage. But this is, of course, with the condition of aiming down the sight. So that's damage. Here we go with the first piece of the statue build. So Tremor will also increase the damage. As you can see with the second one, Tainted Blood, which increases damage on enemies with bleed. This is by 25%. There's another one by 15, right? So the question is, why would I add build damage on an AR based build? Because usually bleed is the status damage of choice for the Devastator, especially for the anomaly build, which is a tree build. What happened was that there's a skill that I have, which I'll show later, that'll have the bleed effect on enemies around the target as well. So eventually it's gonna still rack up. So technically for any tree, bleed is the number 1 status to go to for the Devastator. I think it's the official one. The second piece would have the Golem skill increase in duration for about 120%. That takes a really long time before it goes away. So because we need to maintain the Golem status as long as possible, we need to maintain it as far into the fight as possible. Because the Golem is also our only defense for this build. I have no other mods that increases my armor. Just the Golem. And it works. For the glove, I didn't go for another statue build. That one would either have the vulnerability upon melee or the one that decreases elite damage by 25% or 20%. Instead, I went for the Gauntlet of the Cannonball. This one would have Captain Hunter. Initially, the second mod would be increased close range damage by 15%, but I transferred it again to Bloody Boost. It works like Tainted Blood, except it only has 15 instead of 25, so that's a total of 40% increased damage against bleeding enemies. Again, both increase damage significantly, especially for the elites. It's easier to kill the mobs because they're more vulnerable. Not the elites, so somehow I was able to kill the elites faster, almost as fast as the grunts. And finally, the feet, statue's feet, would also increase the duration of my golem for 2 seconds every time I kill an enemy. Now, it used to be that the tier 3 mod in this armor would have bullets ricocheting back towards the enemy. I gave that up so I can increase my golem duration again. However, I kept the bleeding impulse. This is the one that causes bleed all over my enemies around a 10-meter radius. So what happens is that whenever I keep my golem on, which is, for minutes and minutes on end, every time I have enemies close to me, I would inflict the bleed. I would inflict the bleed in that the 40% damage, along with the Voodoo Matchmaker, will accumulate all that damage, reaches maximum of 429,000 damage per shot. but that's rare. I usually have the average of 100 to 200,000 damage per shot, but that's per shot. So you multiply that by the number of ammo in the clip of the AR, that's going to go through millions. So Thriden asks, "Hi Thriden, good morning. At least for where I am. How much did you have to farm for this? Sheesh, I've been farming for T13s all day and I'm still missing Death Shield. Animoy, I have all these pieces except the Beret I dismantled out of rage. Here's what I did. I actually streamed this early. I mentioned that this is all, unfortunately, RNG's serendipitous, because I was also frustrated that I could not get the Vanquisher build to work. So I shifted to the bottom tree, which is the anomaly tree, because I was able to get enough of the Seismic Commander build to just farm and farm Challenge Tier 14 on the Archways of Enoch again and again and again until I was able to get these 5 pieces, exactly these 5 pieces I need in the Death Shield. I hate to kill your mood. I hate to keep you enraged. I already had 3 Death Shields. I dismantled one to get the fortress. I kept 2 just in case the developers eventually decided to share the equipment. That's why I was able to imbue the fortress for all of my weapons. This is for AoE, this is for single target, and this is just for emergency use. So I got really, really lucky, and I had to make a choice. I either dismantle my pants for the Seismic Commander, rendering the build useless for this one, or I keep the Seismic Commander pants and just run with it. But since I wanted to do a Devastator Vanquisher build, an AR build, I made the choice. I sacrificed my Seismic Commander build. I destroyed the pants, and because of that risk, it actually yielded more of a reward. I was able to do the Vanquisher tree, finally, by sacrificing that, because I needed this one. I needed the Tainted Blood, which is a 25% damage on bleeding enemies. I had to pair that with a Bloody Boost. So I have no armor. I have no armor modifications for this build. It's all offense. I only have to depend on the Golem. That's why I'm also lucky. I'm sorry to say, but I'm also quite fortunate that all my armor has the cooldown reduction. So that's 7.49% times 5. Which is why I'm now going to go to the class. The skills first. Not using Reflect Bullets either, no. I'm now going to go to the skills to explain. I'm only using the Golem for the 100% damage boost. Initially, it's 160... No, it's 145. It's 145% damage initially for the first 10 seconds. That goes to 100% because of the class skill later, which shall see. The class node. I have the Golem. It runs for around 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, I have 15 seconds to defend myself through Weapon Leech until I regain Golem. And then I restart the cycle again, which will last for minutes. Maybe around 5, maybe around, if I'm lucky, 10. If I'm lucky. Then the Tremor is the one that increases my damage for another 45%. I use Gravity Leap because there is a kinetic skill on the end of this class that increases my damage to 70%. So that's 125%. Sorry, 145% plus 45% plus 70%. I didn't do the math. It's maybe around more than 250%. Maybe more than that. So that's what I go with. That's why I use these. I don't use Reflect Bullet anymore. Yeah, that's a whole lot of math. So last is we go with the class skill. So in this one, I went with the AR tree. That's why I kept this one on. Champion and Assault Master. So I got this AR. I use AR, not the Thunderbolt, not the Thunder. What is it? The Thunderbird. I didn't use that. I used the Voodoo Matchmaker. I also did have this one as my armor. Everything else is offensive. So again, this is the kinetic skill that gives us 70% damage. So the active skills that I have are Heirloom Armor, Champion, Assault Master, Bounty Hunter, Confrontation, and Altered Charge. All of this increases my damage significantly upwards. All I have to do is just slog through the enemies while my golem is down, and I'm good. But that's a very difficult thing to do. This is a very taxing and difficult build. But it's a CT15 gold. It's a CT15 gold. So now that I explained all the classes, all the skills, all the inventory, I'll glance over this one again. I'll show you guys the Archways of Enoch. Again, I got gold 15, and then as you can see, I only focused, again, as mentioned before, only one expedition to see if I can handle the rest. Because if I did Archways of Enoch gold, I could probably do the others gold, at least silver in tier 15, if I'm lucky enough again. So I cleared Archways of Enoch at 12 minutes 6 seconds. That's a gold. And this is a high risk, high reward build. So I'll do the rest today or the rest of the days. I don't have to rush anymore because I got the build. I don't need to hurry with the drops anymore. So I'll just try to get silver or gold for the rest of the expeditions, and eventually I'll challenge myself with the storm expeditions. So I'm just gonna end my recording for YouTube. At least I was able to document this. I was able to show my build. And I'll see you guys soon on my next YouTube recording.